I'm good. You having a good day?
I am. I'm excited to
Wonderful.
be here.
Yeah, I'm excited about this too.
Yes.
I am.
Yes. I'm
Very
excited more
excited.
about next week as well.
I am too.
Yeah.
I can't wait for everybody to get there and get to spend time with you too.
Yes.
So you can do
Yes.
some neat stuff
Oh
for
yeah,
us.
we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely.
So they need to know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I should fill them in. Hey guys. All right. Do you want to tell at least here's what my followers and your followers what the event is
I will.
next week?
We're talking about well aware. Oh, our director.
Yes.
No,
She's like,
she
who
tells us
are
we need
you?
to introduce ourselves. I'm Dr. Jill,
And I'm Brittney Hall.
and I am a family practice doc. I've been practicing medicine for many, many years, 25 years.
Experience.
Working on experience, working on 26 years, and I am doing next Saturday, a week from Saturday on the 26th, an event. It's well aware. The whole purpose of the event is to get people to go from thinking about disease to thinking about health.
Yes.
So we want to move from early detection to treatment, because that's what happens in medicine now. We just kind of try to detect the disease. Well, we don't want to detect the disease, we want to prevent the disease.
Exactly.
So that's what the whole thing is about. And
I'm excited.
what got us here is you're going to be a part of it.
Yes, so a little bit about me.
Yeah.
I am an industrial engineer by day,
Yeah.
MBA, and I studied industrial engineering. I work in the healthcare system.
Uh-huh.
So I see a lot of these people after
Yeah.
the fact, these
Yeah.
more acute patients. So
Right.
I became a yoga instructor
Yeah.
to kind of take a more proactive approach. So
Yeah.
I deal with a lot of people on the preventative side. What
Yeah.
can we do physically to help maintain a healthy mind, a healthy
Yeah.
body, and then maybe on the back end of that spectrum, maybe more rehabilitation as well.
Right.
So yeah, but I love getting in front of that rather
Yeah.
than, having to deal with, pharmaceuticals and all that. Is there
Yeah.
a healthier way
Yeah.
that we can be proactive in our health?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yes.
That's funny. I was talking to a couple of engineers this week.
Oh,
I
really?
had two new patients who were engineers.
Engineers!
And so I was explaining to one that I don't like to change a lot of things
Oh,
at once.
I love process improvement. It's my thing.
It was like, I'm an engineer, I
Yes,
get it.
that's how we
Because
think.
if you change too many things at once,
Yeah.
then you don't know what happened.
It's overwhelming.
So,
Step by step.
kindred spirits.
Oh,
with
I
engineer.
I love it. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
So even with dealing with eating,
Yeah.
even with my engineering mind, feeding
Yeah.
these things to people slowly. Even my family,
Yeah.
I was introducing them because my mom's always been a health guru as far as
Mhm.
eating.
Uh-huh.
So, but this fitness side, we didn't always see that. So I was I'm introducing that to my friends and family as well.
Right.
So, but it's a process.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw too much on people
Yeah.
at one time.
Yeah, it is. And that's the point,
Yes.
is that we have to give people bits of knowledge
Yes.
that are digestible,
Mhm.
but that they can implement.
Exactly.
So they know what to do. Because there are a lot of people doing a lot of things, but they don't really understand what they're doing. And they don't know how to put it into a program.
Mhm.
And so it's important that we have a program for our health,
Absolutely.
starting where we are.
Oh yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Flavor of the month, that's a big thing. It's like
I
what's going
know.
on now, and the next month is this
Something
next thing.
else, and
I
yes,
can't even keep up
Yeah,
sometimes.
I know,
I stick
I
with
know.
what I know,
I know.
and this works for me.
Yeah, and that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That no matter what fad comes or goes,
Yes.
if you stick with some basics,
The
and
basics.
you just have to be, you and I cannot do exactly the same thing.
Right.
Because we're in
Yeah.
different generations.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I have to make sure that what I do for my body is good and healthy for me at this stage in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do for your body is good for you at this stage in your life. And
Exactly.
we all have to understand that there's stages.
Oh yeah.
And so we have to, stay healthy for where we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have friends who are vegans, and
Yeah.
I'm personally not a vegan, but
Mhm.
they'll try to force it on me, and I say I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Give me time. Everyone's in different stages. Some things are for people. Veganism maybe, maybe
Right.
not, and it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And that's part of what we'll talk about, is
Mhm.
that you don't necessarily have to put a label on it.
That's good. I like
Whatever
that.
it is, you don't have to
Yes.
label
Yes. Everyone wants to put labels.
it. You don't have to be in a labeled group
Yes.
to be effective at what you're doing,
Yes.
and to give people good information, and for them to be well, because that's what ultimately we all want to be well. And then the other thing is this: not everything is good for everybody.
That's so
Because
true.
we are
Yes.
each different.
Mhm.
Genetically, we are completely different.
Oh yeah.
Every single one of us.
Yep.
And so what's good for you may not be good for me. So,
Oh yeah. And even do so, I'm gonna go over to my yoga side. I
Yeah.
have some clients who, you know, I different ages, different
Right.
levels,
right,
and what I teach in my cardio class may not work for my one-on-one student.
right,
But the connecting factor that works, and I think you asked me about this before, is the mind factor
right.
in yoga. So I'm gonna start talking about that just a little bit.
Yeah,
of
sounds
what,
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing with yoga is it's not just the poses, and people are like, oh, why don't you do, you know, Pilates or something else.
Right.
The reason I practice yoga is because it's not just a physical practice.
Right.
There's a mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect as well. So if you look at the history of yoga and you look at what yoga is all about, before you even get to the poses, there are the disciplines of yoga, which talk about surrender, which talk about non-stealing, discipline, and all those factors come into play before you even get to the physical part,
Right.
because it's a mental thing, mind over body. And so what I like to tell my students is, your mind is the software, and your body is the hardware. So as you're growing mentally, you want to keep the hardware good too. So as you get older, you can still use your mind, you're still mentally strong as well as physically strong.
Right.
So my mom works in a rehab center, and she always tells me she has people in the rehab who are maybe 50.
Yeah.
They're not old, but they can barely lift themselves up
Yes.
because they don't have the strength.
Yes.
And that starts to affect you mentally as well.
It absolutely
Like,
does.
man, I can't do this, I can't do that. And what I see a lot with my students, as I challenge them, again, staying within their limitations, I see them changing their mindset as well. It's like, you know, I can do this. And so how you practice on your mat translates into how you live your life. So you push yourself a little more every day, and you realize, I do have the strength to do this. You know, I'm not going to be anxious. I'm going to let things come as they come. I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to push or pull for anything. Things will come when they're supposed to.
That, you know,
Surrendering now.
that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted you to be a part of this. Because it's so important that we do movement
Yes.
that connects to our minds.
Yes.
Because strengthening our mind and our body simultaneously are so important. So that's why I wanted you to be a part of it. Because for some of us, yoga is kind of a weird thing. And so people go, you know, well, what is that? I don't know if I want to do that. And people who are Christians
Yes.
sometimes will really, you know, it's like, well, what's a mantra? And I don't want to be work. And it's not that. It's not a religion.
It's not. It's not.
It's a practice.
It is. It's just
Yes.
a physical practice, and it
Yes.
takes on the quality of the student. So you make it what you want
Want it to be.
And the word yoke is in the Bible.
Yeah.
Jesus even said, you know, take my yoke, I'll take your yoke. He talks
Right.
about that in the scriptures.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing in yoga, if you want to take it to the spiritual aspect, you don't have to. If you want to just keep it at the physical practice, you can.
Yes.
But there's a lot that you may miss out on as well. Because what we're doing is we're yoking ourselves to Christ. And what a lot of people do and what I do is it's a form of body prayer. It's a form of moving meditation.
Yes.
And what we're doing is we're strengthening the body because it takes strength to sit still.
Yes,
It takes strength to sit still.
Yes.
And so what we're striving to get to is a state of, you're not clearing the mind, you're calming your central nervous system, and you know about that, letting go of anxiety, letting go of depression. So when we move, we're releasing those endorphins, and we're strengthening our mind in order to sit still
Yes.
and sit with our thoughts and just be. It takes a lot of strength to sit still.
It does. It's like with meditation.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
In order to quiet yourself, and so that your mind to just let it be
Yes.
is a struggle for a lot of people.
It is.
Just to sit somewhere
Yes.
and breathe for.
It sounds easy till you try
I
it.
know it can be really hard.
Can't talk?
I know.
Yes.
I know. I had a patient who had suffered this major heart thing.
Oh.
And so he's a smoker, and he's really fast moving. And I've known him for years. And so he's just real, you know, he talks fast and everything's fast. And come on, doctor, we're going to do that. And I said, okay, this is your assignment. You are going to sit still for 3 minutes and breathe every day. And you would have thought I had told him he had to run 20 miles.
Wow.
it was
Yeah.
such a foreign thing to him.
Yeah.
He said, man, I got to sit still for 3. I said, okay, start with 1. Until you get there, until you can get to 3,
Mhm.
just to teach him how to settle himself. He has to.
Mhm.
It is a crisis for him. And I'm blown away by that. I actually start my day with something. So I do exercise, and then I do qigong.
Oh, okay.
So I do,
Yeah,
it's just 12 movements.
Okay.
It's
still movement.
Listen,
It still counts.
it's
We'll
12
count
movements.
that.
So I do the treadmill, and it's the same thing. It's part of Tai Chi.
Okay.
And so it's that, which, yoga, Tai Chi, they're all in those, they're all connected. So I do that, and then I try to get in the sauna and do at least 10 minutes of meditation.
That's good.
So I try to do that multiple days a week, because if I am going to deal with illness all day, dealing with illness can be overwhelming. So if I'm going to deal with illness all day, I really have to center myself and ground myself. So I'm excited that you're coming. I'm so
I can go
glad
on and on.
that you're
Something else is coming to my mind.
Yeah, but it's good stuff. It's important for people to know that they can just to be still, take strength. Many people don't think about that, and so we think in order to strengthen ourselves, we have to do this terrific stuff. No, you got to jump off of a tall building or something,
Right.
but you really don't, because the intricate movement of the muscles is so important.
It doesn't take a lot too, and I have so many people that tell me, "Oh, I'm not flexible enough for yoga." I'm like, yeah, yoga is not just flexibility; it's also strengthening. So it's tiny movements and things you can do. It doesn't have to be a rigorous workout. Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
And so, I love teaching it, and I enjoy it. So.
Well, the reason I ask you, in addition to the mind-body connection and that you're great and all of that stuff, is because I was in a session that you did where you just worked with the audience, and even in our chairs, you gave us some things that we could do to help relax. So, at Well Aware, she's going to be doing that. She's going to come, and you guys are going to you don't have to be frightened about it. She's not going to we're not going to make you get on the floor. But she will give you some things to just teach us to move our bodies and to start getting comfortable with movement of our bodies in a different way. So I'm excited that you're going to share that with people.
Yes, and I have the link is in my bio, so you can get your tickets.
Yeah.
They're $25, and I have a code to give you guys if you're interested in coming, which you should. You're really going to learn a lot. So the promo code is BRITT5, BRITT, and the number 5. And that'll get you $5 off your ticket. And there's so much wealth of knowledge in the room, so I really expect to see you all there. Hopefully so.
Yeah. So please come.
Yes.
Please come. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, every time I do one of these live things, somebody asks about my lipstick.
I was looking at that. That's my eye going to lipstick the whole time.
So there's a wonderful young woman, and her lipstick line is iconically created, and she's going to be there, and I'm excited because I have worked with her in making sure that there are not toxic ingredients in her lipstick, and she's working on a line of makeups too, because that's another thing we're going to talk about at Well Aware. It's just to be aware of the toxic things that are in our environment that we don't even think about, that we're putting on our bodies every day. So all of that is part of keeping you healthy. And guys can come too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, y'all can. So it's not just for women, it's for men. So bring your fella with you. And it's not going to be girly, it's going to be good. We're going to have fun. Whenever you start talking about doing medical anything or wellness, everybody thinks, okay, am I going to be bored? Am I going to sit there and be in science class? No, you will not do science. Yeah, I know. And so we're going to do that. And I may even tie a little bit in. I think your physical health is important for your intimate health.
Ooh, that's
too.
good.
And so a lot of people lose their ability to be physically intimate.
Are we going to talk about
because,
this?
Girl, we might. You don't know. But it's important that we start to talk about that. And when you lose your mental health, you lose your ability to connect spiritually. And when you're not connected spiritually, then you cannot connect in an intimate way, physically or emotionally or any of that. So all of that's important for our health. So,
Oh yeah.
so I'm glad
Even
you're
if you just
gonna
come
be
for
there.
that part.
I know, right? So I'm
Keep going.
glad. Absolutely. Yeah. What is it?
They can purchase tickets. The link to purchase tickets will be in the comments.
Oh, the link to
Huh?
the link to purchase tickets will be in the comments following this. So we'll see you